Oh boy. Now, as I said, the first Normandy wasn't really my ship. The one we have now is, but I do tend to be a bit of a nostalgic person, kind of naturally. So, yeah. And I guess because so much of the wreckage is here, I'm guessing this is the planet where Shepard fell through the atmosphere and they found her body. I'm guessing, I don't recall if that's ever actually confirmed or not, but I would think that considering this is where the Normandy crashed, that this is where Shepard's body crashed as well, because how far apart would they have to be for that to not be the case? I mean, it just kind of makes sense to me. Alright. So of course we have to find all the dog tags. Here's where Joker used to sit. So, I think this might be an appropriate place to put the monument. Presley wasn't the only one who died that day. And this helps honor all of them. There's my old helmet. There's the Mako. It's supposed to be a thing that triggers there. Right here. Rest in peace, Mako. You provided us with many fun memories. Though I'm glad they made a better version of you in Andromeda. Yeah, I said it. I've said for a long time, ever since I first played Andromeda and tried out the Nomad, I was like, man, why couldn't the Mako run like this? And then they added the boost in the Legendary Edition. I thought, hey, looks like they actually are trying to make it a little bit more like the Nomad. I will, of course, talk more about that when we get to Andromeda. Just as a reminder... Yep, that's where I used to stand. Just as a reminder, actually, maybe this is not really a reminder, more like me telling you guys for the first time. But, I'm not just going to play through the Legendary Edition of all three games. I never finished my playthrough of Andromeda, and I kind of kept putting it off, and I'm going to go ahead and just restart it from the beginning. I'm going to try to play it on PC, which I know some of you may be going, what? Why would you play it on PC compared to PS4? Well, for one thing, mods. There actually is a way to mod Andromeda. I just haven't fully learned how to do it yet, but just as I've been modding these games, as well as the other Dragon Age games, including Inquisition, I'm going to look into modding Andromeda as well. And even if I have to run it on low settings to try and get the high, frame rate, because it's still not very well optimized, I'm hoping there are some mods that may actually serve as extra patches to help deal with some of that stuff. So, just giving you that heads up in case you haven't heard me say it yet, my intention is that when we finished Mass Effect 3 and this whole Legendary Edition, that then we'll jump into a restarted playthrough of Mass Effect Andromeda. So, wish me luck in that regard. So, anyways. Recoverable data. Data recovered. Spoke to the commander about this. All these damned aliens aboard the Alliance's most advanced ship. I just don't trust them. That damned Asarian Aquarian? What does Shepard think this is, a zoo? With the Quarian, it seems she's on some kind of pilgrimage, trying to improve the lot of her home ship. I can understand that. I would babysit my children or anything, but if she can be on board, has to be on board, I suppose it's not too bad. For a while now, and I'm taking a look back at past entries in this journal. How blind I was at the time. I came on this ship firmly believing humanity was on its own in the galaxy. Shepard brought all these aliens on board, and there's no way we could have accomplished what we did without them. I am proud to say, would die for any member of this crew, regardless of what world they were born on. And yep, that was Presley. It's been interesting seeing some people playing this for the first time, reading this at first, not realizing who it was that wrote this as they were reading it, because they were like, oh man, listen to this horrible racist here in this journal. And then seeing that final entry, it's like, oh, well, that wasn't too bad. And then they see it's Presley, and they're like, oh, wait, that was Presley who thought that way? And I'm like, yeah. This is why I tell people you got to pay attention when you're doing the actual conversations and dialogues throughout the series, because Presley makes this very clear from the very beginning of the first game. When you first talk to him, and he's like, I don't like Turians in general, it runs in my family. And he gives that indication that he's someone who's not very trusting of aliens because of the past history that has gone on between them and humans. But, I'm pointing this out to also show that Ashley wasn't the only one who had these kinds of thoughts that some people have been thinking. People think, oh, Ashley was the only one. No, Ashley was not the only one. Presley was also one of them. But again, it's completely understandable. Now, yes, some of those comments were a little out of line, but as you saw, he came to regret that once he got to know them more. He got to see, the things that happened to the point where he said he would actually be willing to die for any of them. And Ashley is the same way. She grows into that as well. She would be willing to do that for the others. She comes to trust the others more so as time goes on. People just never bother to give her even a chance to see that. There's my old helmet. I remember spending quite a bit of time here trying to make sure we we got every single one. But you notice all the snow and the ice here? This is why I think that this is definitely the world that Shepard's body landed on after the beginning of this game, because, well, when we first see the planet from up top, like up in the atmosphere, as the Normandy's being destroyed, it looks like it's covered in snow, like a Hoth-like planet. Plus, when Miranda is talking about the condition that Shepard's body was found in, it does mention the sub-zero temperatures. So, there's just a number of little, indications like that that lead me to believe that this was the case. Sorry, I'm kind of testing this out, just to see whether or not I want to keep using this shotgun or not. I'm just seeing how it fires. We'll test it out more in actual missions. I like the Geth shotgun, but at the same time, the way it kind of spaces out is kind of like, oh, really? Ah, yes. The area where Caden used to be. Okay, 16. It's a good thing that the dog tags are all very bright and shiny. Like over there. It makes it much easier to spot them. By the way, in case you're wondering, yes, that is the cryo gun on my back. I thought we'd have a little bit of fun. Maybe use it so I can be able to throw out some Mr. Freeze puns. I mean, let's be honest. Is there anything, you know, else better about the Batman and Robin movie than just listening to Arnold do all the Mr. Freeze puns? Like, of all the things from that movie, that's the one good thing from that movie I will always be like, oh, thank you for providing us with those. Just saying. Alright, that should hold the last one. There we go. Alright. Let's go. Farewell, Normandy SR1. A monument has been placed at the last resting place of the SSV Normandy on Alcara, and the families of all the missing crew members have been notified of their ultimate sacrifice. Shepard's lost N7 helmet was recovered.
I bumped into Zaid recently. Quite the character. Given how much violence and destruction that man's seen, he's surprisingly well adjusted. Still, I wouldn't want to be alone with them. Anyway, what's up?
Is there anything I should know?
You have unread messages at your private terminal. Anything else, Commander?
That'll be all.
I'll be here if you need. Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
From the Omega Clinic desk. Commander, I want to thank you again for saving me from those Batarians. I thought I had seen the worst of people's anger and fear at Dr. Solus's clinic. I had no idea how much anger his work was keeping in check. How bad it really was. If not for you, I'd be dead. Thank you. The clinic is doing well. You got rid of most of the plague, and I've been able to handle the rest without too much trouble. The Blue Suns keep offering to take over security here. I keep them X-powered on. I won't make the same mistake twice. Thanks, Daniel.
Commander Shepard, the Alliance was grateful to receive the information you found at the Normandy's crash site, and we've sent it out to the affected families. By finding those dog tags, you provided peace of mind for a lot of people, Commander. I thank you on their behalf.
Thanks, Hackett. I don't think any new conversations would have triggered. Let's double check with Jacob.
Commander.
I'm not gonna flirt with you.
I'm more interested in just talking for a bit.
Already? I'm not big on forcing these talks, Shepard. Let's do this later.
We'll talk later.
Commander.
There we go. Okay. Let's go get the... What's it called? The Firewalker thing? Let's go at least acquire that. By the way, yes, I've discovered the anomalies for those things. That stuff I can do off camera. Don't have to do that now, though. Not until after the Horizon mission. Okay. So, we of course are going to be putting off Project Overlord off for quite some time. I do need to go quickly see Arya. You know what? Why don't we quickly do that? Let's go pay her a visit real quick, and then we're going to go recover the thing that I don't know, that vehicle.
Judging by the quarantine reports, the plague has been completely eradicated, Shepard. Dr. Solis's assistant has been helping any patients with complications.
Excellent. Knew he could do it.
What do you need? This data pad was on one of the mercs going after Archangel. They were coming for you next. Let me see.
Interesting. Would someone like to tell me how this information slipped the net?
I'll look into it.
Thanks for the heads up, Shepard. Looks like I'll have to do a little cleaning in my organization.
Thanks. Maybe I'll come back later. You do that.
I leveled from that.
Arya has work for you, if you're interested.
Ah, the Patriarch mission.
Arya has a job she needs doing. You up for some work?
That depends on what Arya has in mind.
Arya's gotten word that some blood-packed mercs plan to kill an old acquaintance of hers. A Krogan named Patriarch. She'd like you to keep that from happening.
Why come to me? Arya's usual muscle not up for the job?
Because Arya said so. What other reason do you need?
People like Arya don't do things without a damn good reason. I want to hear it.
Fine, but I didn't tell you this. Got me? If it gets out that Arya's protecting Patriarch, well, that can look like a weakness. And some people might want to exploit that. You're not on her payroll, so you helping Patriarch just seems like a random act of kindness.
What's the Blood Pack's problem with Patriarch?
If you've met Patriarch, you know. He can't keep his damn mouth shut. Some people don't appreciate his stories, especially when he dips into non-fiction.
What's Arya's interest in protecting him?
Patriarch was one of her deadliest enemies back in the old days. Now she keeps what's left of him around as a trophy. As long as he lives, he's a perfect example of what happens when you go up against Arya.
I'll look into it.
Good. Patriarch's downstairs, likely surrounded by his fans. Get him into hiding until the mercs move on. Come back here when it's done, and you'll get your due.
I'll be back when the job's done.
Good luck.
Alright, I think now it's time to finally talk to that Batarian bartender.
Shepherd Memorial Plaza on Elysium was voted this year's hottest wedding location. Under Admiral Hackett's orders, money raised from wedding fees goes to funds for Alliance veterans.
I should have warned you, Shepard. I'm sorry.
What's going on here?
You ought to be all right. Just take her easy. Looks like you broke the first rule of Omega. Don't order a drink at Afterlife if you're human.
That bartender tried to poison me?
Tried is the word. As far as I know, you're the first human to survive it. Me and my friend Jake went there to celebrate our new shipping business. He got real drunk, and an hour later he was puking blood.
Now, I know that you can survive that regardless of who you bring with you. However, I would like to think that because I brought Morden with me, that Morden was able to actually, on the fly, help save Shepard from dying to that poison. Because, well, we saw how good Morden was dealing with curing Garrus of the plague. So I would like to think Morden was able to, you know, being a doctor, being able to actually help save Shepard there. Just my own little headcanon there.
Humans aren't welcome at Afterlife?
It's just that one Batarian bartender. He's got a stick up his ass about a bunch of Batarians that died a while back. No one does a thing about it, though. Humans ain't exactly held in high regard around here.
Duly noted. Let's get back to work.
Be careful out there.
Walking around in this place makes me sick. People still dying, the strong still exploiting the weak. Nothing I did here even made a dent in this.
Vorcha adaptation interesting. Not just biological, social as well. Urban area adapting to them in return. Large concentration. Hope they're controlled. If they attack, as happened near my clinic, casualties likely.
We'll talk to the Patriarch after we deal with this bartender.
Do I know you? No, humans all look the same. Here, have a drink on the house.
What do you think these people will do when they find out you're poisoning your customers?
Poisoning what now?
This has nothing to do with you.
Who's next? Turians? You don't like them either, right?
Answer the damn question, Forvan.
You want a piece of me? I'll leave your corpse for the fortune.
I'm not taking any chances.
Okay, then. Let's go meet this Patriarch.
Don't act like you know. Just plan for the funeral normally. During the service, someone will want to set up a meeting. He's in on it with whoever killed your family. You tear off a few of his fingers, you'll find out who did this to you. You were right to come to me. I can talk to Arya for you myself.
Bullshit.
A skeptic. I'll get them to lower the payments. I can't keep taking your money if your business goes under. And you will owe me a favor. When
I knew it.
The Turian who controlled it. I ate his heart and wore his skull on my arm. Intimidation, ritual, whatever you want to call it. I'm a very simple croak, and long words bother me. Now I sit in Arya's bar and drink the most expensive liquor she has. Asari honeymead. They make it out at an Ardat Yakshi monastery, where they keep bees and crazy blue women.
How many of you recognize that voice?
Remember back before the Genophage? Oh, it was a glorious time. I remember the hordes. Thousands and thousands of Krogan swarming over our enemies. We were unstoppable. I remember seeing the young rising in the pools. The next generations of warriors picking up their first weapons to murder their weaker siblings.
Are you really that old?
It wouldn't be as interesting a story if it wasn't.
So, if you haven't picked up on it yet...
And Batarians. expire as a human. You can't use Batarians to shake more money out of humans. Too much bad blood. Someone always gets gutted. Send one of your Solarians instead. It's safer. Don't act like you know. Just plan for the funeral normally. During the service, someone will want to set up a meeting. He's in on it with whoever killed your family. You tear off a few of his fingers, you'll find out who did this to you.
Alright. He's just gonna keep talking, so.
No. You said he had close family. They'll just want revenge. Kill the family first. Then he'll get angry and come at you stupid. And then you kill him. I don't think I know you, human. I'm the Patriarch. Aria's Patriarch. What do you want?
So, alright, I'm just going to go ahead and give it away. I was giving you guys time to figure it out, to really listen and try and pick up on it, because I knew that voice sounded familiar. And if it sounds familiar, that's because that is the voice of one of the most prolific and accomplished voice actors of all time. That is Jim Cummings. For those of you who perhaps may not know who Jim Cummings is, I mean, there are so many roles I could be able to try and name off here to try and give you an idea, but does Winnie the Pooh sound familiar? Or how about Goof Troop? Or Kingdom Hearts? Or some other various characters in World of Warcraft? You know, like Lore Walker Cho, Pete, Pooh and Tigger. Heck, he was even briefly, he was also briefly the voice of Scar in The Lion King. Jeremy Irons, of course, was the main actor. However, he also did a bit of vocals for the song Be Prepared, because Jeremy Irons couldn't be able to reach some of the notes in that song, so they had Jim Cummings come in and do some of the vocals for that. He has also done several different characters in other games, including World of Warcraft, and yeah, of course, if you played the Kingdom Hearts game, you know him as the voice of Pete, and of course the other Winnie the Pooh characters. So yeah, Jim Cummings.
Why do they call you Patriarch?
It's like an Asari matriarch, only male. It was Aria's little joke. After she took me down, she let me live. Kept me around as an advisor and a trophy.
He was also in Darkwing Duck, by the way.
What do you know about Aria?
A few centuries ago, Omega was my rock. When Aria arrived, she had nothing but the clothes on her back. I thought she was another dancer. She killed half my men and convinced the rest that she could run this place better than I did. She came for me here in this bar. We tore this place apart. She crushed one of my hearts, shattered half the bones in my body, and left me alive.
What made her decide to leave you alive?
No, she doesn't destroy what she can use. She said I could have all my old comforts if I served as her advisor. I knew how things worked. I knew who to lean on, who to smack down, who to smile at. And everyone who respected me saw me beaten, broken. They knew that as strong as I'd been, she was stronger.
Yep, it was a message to everybody.
A Krogan as old as you must have some great stories.
I killed a lot of people, lived well, and was beaten by a small Asari who keeps me around as an example. My time is done. Anyone I killed is long forgotten. The stories are Aria's now.
Rumor has it some people want you dead. Know anything about that?
Oh, I can think of a few. I know things. Old secrets, old grudges. A few floors you can dig up to find bodies underneath. Someone who wanted to weaken Arya might come after me. They do it to get to her, you see, not for me. I don't matter enough anymore to have enemies of my own.
Some people want you dead. I've been asked to move you to safety.
Well, of course. Arya wouldn't want me hurt. It would make her look bad. Perhaps Arya's reputation is no longer my concern. Perhaps I will stay. See who thinks me important enough to kill.
Here's an idea. Let me handle the assassins for you.
And so your name grows, while I remain an old man who lets others fight his battle.
No. You remain a powerful warlord with forces at his command, not just Arya's trophy.
Well, you could be my Krant, fighting for my honor. If you would do this for me, I would be grateful. I might even be a Krogan again. Out of our way, human.
You here for Patriarch?
What if we are? You gonna do something about it?
Patriarch sent us. Said to do whatever it takes.
You're Patriarch's Krant? I wasn't aware the old man had one.
You should have done your homework.
Killed them all. And everyone knows that the Patriarch is not to be crossed. Thanks to you, Arya may think of me as more than a trophy. A real advisor, maybe. Or even a threat.
Take care, Patriarch.
For the first time, I like that name. By the way, be careful with Arya. She will approve of what you've done, I think. But not of you altering the balance of Omega. I think it reminds her too much of herself.
Notorious troublemaker Archangel is no more. Blue Sun reports that mercenaries in their employ were responsible for the death of Omega's public enemy #1.
Sure.
Arya wants to speak with you, human. She heard you took on the Blood Pack assassins yourself. I wouldn't keep her waiting.
Word has it that Patriarch's Krant took out the men sent here to kill him. Funny, I didn't know he had a Krant.
Patriarch has more influence than you thought.
I see. Well, maybe I should watch my back then. It's not what I asked, but you got the job done. You've done a lot for me, Shepard. Let me return the favor. We're sending your coordinates to a cache on an uncharted world. You want it? It's yours.
Can use any help we can get.
Whatever you find is yours to deal with.
Thanks. Maybe I'll come back later.
You should find a nice young man to keep you warm in the meantime. You look like you need to loosen up a little.
And then Shepard just kind of glances over at Garrus. It's brief, but it's still a glance. Alright, now let's go get this thing.
Far too often. I'm going to stay at the next site with Dr. Aloy. I think we'll be safer there.
Systems online. Welcome to the M44 Hammerhead Infantry Fighting Vehicle. This is your onboard VI. Mission objectives located. Caution, guided missile system active. Would you look at that? Obstruction detected. Path is now clear.
Whee! So yeah, we fly it into the Normandy. And that is how we get that particular vehicle to then use... Oh. How we get that in order to use it later on for the Project Overlord DLC. Yes, get that off my screen. So, anyways. So, I am now going to, because then these other ones come up here. Don't worry, I'm not going to bother showing these on camera. There's no reason to. The only reason to really do these is to get the vehicle and to get the artifact thing. So, I'll just do these off camera. As far as what we're going to do next, well, as I said, we're going to be putting that off for quite some time. But next, as tempted as I am to go get either Jack or Grunt, I want to do the Kasumi loyalty mission because I want to get one of my favorite guns in the game. And now that we have gotten some upgrades, courtesy of going around the places, we've gotten also Morden to unlock the research lab, so that way we can be able to get some upgrades. I think we'll be able to have an easier time, because remember, it becomes a little difficult since it's just me and Kasumi. And we're a little bit more leveled than because I usually do this mission pretty early to get that gun. But I think now it's probably a decent time to go ahead and do that. Then maybe we'll do the Zaid loyalty mission. And then we'll go after probably Grunt. And then get Jack afterwards. Before we then progress in the main story. In terms of like Horizon and all that stuff. So stay tuned for us to infiltrate a party to help out Kasumi. Stay tuned.